Still, respondents in almost every country said it would be better for the U.S. to remain as the top global power, rather than China, which is seen as a rising power. That included large majorities among China's neighbors such as Japan, 81%, and the Philippines, 77%. The only places where pluralities favored Chinese leadership were Tunisia, 64%, Argentina, 35%, and Russia, 35%. Overall, about 50% surveyed continued to hold favorable views of the U.S. The results provide the latest illustration of global unease over Trump's America First agenda, in which he has imposed tariffs, dismissed the value of multilateral institutions, and withdrawn from international agreements. Trump vowed to reject the ideology of globalism the last week in a speech to the United Nations, where some attendees appeared to laugh at his claims to have accomplished more than almost any U.S. administration. Large majorities say the U.S. doesn't take into account the interests of countries like theirs when making foreign policy decisions, the Pew report said. And there are signs that American soft power is waning as well, including the fact that, while the U.S. maintains its reputation for respecting individual liberty, fewer believe this than a decade ago. Roughly 70% of respondents said the U.S. pays little or no attention to the needs of other nations, compared with 28% who said Washington takes their interests into account, Pew found. Confidence in Trump trailed the scores of other world leaders, including Germany's Angela Merkel and France's Emmanuel Macron, Xi and Putin. The survey found anxiety about U.S. ties among friends and foes alike. Some 80% of Germans said that relations between the Allies had deteriorated over the past year, and only 10% of the country's residents reported favorable views of Trump. Views of both the U.S. and its president fell in Russia, where Trump's approval plunged to 19% from 53% amid disputes over Syria, economic sanctions, and allegations of election meddling. One notable exception was Israel. Support for Trump jumped 13 points to 69% there as the U.S. moved its embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, a decision that angered Palestinians. Trump was also well received in South Korea, where confidence in Trump increased to 44% from 17% as he set aside threats of war and opened nuclear talks with North Korea. The survey was based on telephone and face-to-face interviews and is generally based on national samples, with the margin of error for each country available on the non-profit research organization's website, Bloomberg.